interesting thing is with the upgrades, and these are children that have often been born to parents that have had extraterrestrial encounters, not always understood what they were. They may have seen it as a spiritual experience. They may have thought, you know, that through their religious lens, it's an angel rather than a light being. It doesn't really matter. But what it does mean is that they've been aware that they've had interactions with other intelligences, whether they see that as guardian angels, spirit guides, whatever. And because these new children are not so easily programmable, and this is the important part of the new human, is that the reality for them is not so, you can't condition them so easily into 3D world, because that's deliberate. Because they're actually leading us into our true nature, our multidimensional nature. And that I mean is that because they're harder to program, and they appear dysfunctional. They're not dysfunctional. They're simply more aware of the matrix. They're operating within the matrix. These children see all of that. They see energy fields around animals and plants. They are aware they can communicate with them. They're aware when people aren't well. They can see through people's bodies. And one story I will tell you is about an engineer that wrote to me, and he said his 12-year-old son said, you know, Dad, I'm not from here, I'm from Andromeda. My mother was blue, had blue skin, and I do find it really hard down here because, you know, I know there's something going to happen. And he explained about that we are reaching another level of awareness, and he said this time we might actually make it. Because he said we've been here 2 or 3 times before and we didn't quite make it, but there's 95% chance now that humanity will make it this time. And he said, and we've come to help. I had a 9-year-old. He says, my past life was Orion. I used to work on higher technologies, including time travel. I am a light physicist, and I have come here with this awareness. He said many scientists here won't have an understanding because it's too in advance of what they understand. He said the nearest to understanding what I can do, he said, is probably Tesla. He said, but he's a baseline. The information that I have is way beyond that, but it's a good start. The children tell me that when they go to school and they're taught such rubbish that isn't right, is inaccurate, and has no use and no value, and that is why they switch off, because they already have that within them, the knowledge and awareness they need. And as this 9-year-old said, that when you go to school, they program you out of your light. They have superior mental and analytical capabilities. They've got direct connection to higher awareness. They have extreme sensitivity to thought and emotion, photographic memories, fast motor neuron responses like the ADHD, manipulation. They can manipulate time and space. They're telepathic, many of them. And they recall being their past lives, being on spacecraft. They know they have downloads. They know that they interact with many different beings. They may come out with strange languages or write strange scripts, which are part of their education on the craft. And they're aware of their origins. They're all saying this is part of the shift, that we have got to let go of the third dimensional limiting reality. As Dr. Olson says, we're separating out into low frequency people and high frequency people. And the low frequency people, they're making a choice to stay with the present paradigm. But there's many that are saying that no longer fits for me. So what I'm seeing is this is happening, and this chaos is part of the preparation for letting go of all the old so that we can move into the new. And these children have come to birth that with with the older generations providing the bridge. So we can support them so they can do their job. And that's why we need new schools. They're the ones that will teach us what they need. I talked to a 17-year-old in New Zealand who told me he's come in as an ambassador from Arcturus, and he said he's an ecological engineer. In other words, he's come in to provide a way of creating environments that we can live in, which is in harmony with the planet, rather than the way at the moment that we adjust the planet to suit us. human language can actually change the configuration of DNA. They've already seen this can happen. What is it? What is language? It's a frequency. What is music? It's a frequency. And you've got lots of the star kids bringing in beautiful music, which actually is there to rebalance the frequencies. So what we're learning is that if we're looking at energy, the way to affect energy is through frequency. And as this 9-year-old told me, is the stress of modern society, which is deliberate, by the way, is to keep us dysfunctional so that we can't be all we can be. So in other words, we're shut down. And certainly these children have come in for a reason. And if they come in with all these abilities and all this awareness and all this understanding of the way they wish to change what's happening here and to raise us into a new understanding of who we are and what we are, there's no way they're going to do that for a waste of time. They're not going to come and then suddenly it's all going to fall into a heap. They're only coming because they know it's going to happen. They know it's going to work.